Perfect gifts? We've got them at Nordstrom Rack stores now. UGG, Nike, Barefoot Dreams, Kate Spade, New York, and more. Find everything on their wish list, all in one place.
Steve Madden? Yes, please.
It's perfect.
Did we just score?
The greatest gifts of all time? Yeah.
Head to your Nordstrom Rack store to score. Great brands, great prices. The greatest gifts of all time.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Halloween Podcast. I am your host, Lyle Perez. Today is October 13th, 2024, and you are listening to episode 32 of our Haunted America series. We're headed to the Empire State today, a place filled with towering skyscrapers, sprawling countrysides, and ghost stories that date back centuries. While many think of New York City as the heart of it all, the state is swarming with eerie mansions, haunted hotels, and restless spirits lurking in every corner. So hold on tight for this one, guys, because we are about to explore New York's dark haunts. Our first stop takes us to the Morris-Jumel Mansion, the oldest remaining house in Manhattan, built in 1765. This stately Georgian home, nestled in the Washington Heights neighborhood, is rich with history and haunted tales. During the Revolutionary War, General George Washington used the mansion as his headquarters, strategizing his next moves against the British Army. But the mansion's intrigue doesn't stop there. It's also famously haunted by Eliza Jumel, a socialite with a dark past. Eliza's ghost is perhaps the most notorious resident of the Morris-Jumel Mansion. After her husband, Aaron Burr, died in disgrace, Eliza became recluse, and many believe her spirit never truly left. She's often seen gliding through the house in a violet gown, especially near the grand staircase where she spent her final days. Some visitors have reported hearing Eliza's chilling whispers, especially on quiet evenings when the house is empty. One guide recalls feeling an ice-cold hand grip her shoulder, only to turn around and see no one there. Other spirits, including soldiers from the Revolutionary War, are said to haunt the mansion as well. The apparition of a soldier pacing as if standing guard has been spotted by multiple visitors, and the eerie sounds of marching boots have echoed through the empty halls at night. Today, the Morris-Jumel Mansion is a museum, welcoming visitors who want to experience its history and maybe even meet one of its ghostly inhabitants. A few houses in America are as infamous as the Amityville Horror House in Long Island. In 1974, the house became the site of a grisly crime when Ronald DeFeo Jr. murdered his entire family as they slept. A few years later, the Lutz family moved into the house, but fled after just 28 days, claiming the house was filled with dark, demonic forces. The haunting stories the Lutz family shared are enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. They described waking up at exactly 3:15 a.m., the time of the murders, each night to the sounds of phantom gunshots and footsteps. George Lutz claimed he was plagued by a strange odor that seeped through the house, and unexplained cold spots that made him shiver despite the warmth of the room. Even more terrifying were the apparitions, including a demonic figure with glowing red eyes that seemed to take the form of a pig. The Lutz children claim to see it staring at them from the bedroom windows, watching their every move. Perhaps the most unsettling event occurred when a priest, brought in to bless the house, was driven away by disembodied voices shouting, "Get out!" a warning that still haunts those who hear it. While the house has changed hands and has been renovated, its dark history remains, and many still believe that something evil lingers behind its walls. In the quiet town of Napanoch, New York, stands the Shanley Hotel, a hotspot for paranormal activity. Built in 1895, the hotel has hosted famous guests and everyday travelers, but it's also been the site of numerous tragedies. Several children have died in or near the hotel, and mysterious drownings have taken place in the nearby river, casting a long, dark shadow over the property. The spirit of Beatrice Shanley, the wife of the hotel's original owner, is one of the most active presents in the hotel. She's often seen walking the halls in a long, flowing dress, her footsteps echoing through the building. Guests have also reported hearing children's laughter and playful voices, especially near the third-floor hallway, where toys have mysteriously moved on their own. Some brave visitors have even reported feeling unseen hands tugging at their clothing, or hearing the sound of a music box playing in the distance. The Shanley Hotel is known for its eerie atmosphere, with strange cold spots, flickering lights, and the unmistakable feeling of being watched. Paranormal investigators have flocked to the Shanley, and many leave convinced that the spirits within are still very much alive. Perched on the edge of Otsego Lake, Hyde Hall in Copperstown is a sprawling neoclassical mansion that once belonged to the wealthy Clark family. Built between 1817 and 1834, Hyde Hall was a symbol of power and prestige, but it's now known for the chilling presence of its former owners who refuse to rest in peace. One of the most frequently reported spirits at Hyde Hall is George Clark, the mansion's original owner. His ghost has been spotted near the grand entrance, watching over the property he painstakingly built. Some say they've seen him standing at the windows, gazing out over the lake as if contemplating his legacy. Others have heard the sound of footsteps in the halls, only to find the corridors completely empty. Clark isn't the only spirit haunting Hyde Hall. A mysterious woman in white is often seen wandering the upper floors. Her presence felt most strongly in the mansion's long corridors. There are also accounts of strange whispers coming from the dining room, where guests report the sound of an unseen dinner party taking place long after the house has been closed for the night. Hyde Hall is open for tours, and while many visitors have come for the mansion's grand architecture, many leave with stories of their own ghostly encounters. In the small town of Whitehall, New York, the Skene Manor looms over the landscape, its Victorian Gothic architecture giving it an imposing presence. Built in 1874 by Judge Joseph H. Potter, the manor was a symbol of the wealth and power of its owner. But with its grandeur comes a longer history of ghostly sightings. Judge Potter himself is said to haunt the house, often seen standing at the top of the grand staircase, watching over the visitors who pass through his once private residence. Guests and staff alike have reported seeing shadowy figures moving through the rooms, especially near the library, where the judge spent most of his time. One of the more unnerving experiences involves the sound of phantom conversations in the dining hall, as though long-gone guests are still attending lavish dinners within the walls. On some nights, the ghostly sound of footsteps can be heard on the wooden floors, accompanied by the faint scent of cigar smoke that seems to linger in the air, long after anyone has left the room. The Skene Manor is open for tours, and visitors are welcome to explore its eerie halls, if they dare.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Progressive loves to help people make smart choices. That's why they offer a tool called Auto Quote Explorer that allows you to compare your Progressive car insurance quote with rates from other companies. So you save time on the research and can enjoy savings when you choose the best rate for you. Give it a try after this episode at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Okay, want to know where to find brands on brands this fall? At Ross. They've got big savings on the latest fall styles. Seriously, you'll find the brands you want at prices you'll love. At Ross. Yes, for less.
Life can throw a lot your way in the morning. You might be battling drop-off times, while your kids are battling imaginary monsters or their shoelaces. But no matter what life brings, Life cereal puts a smile on everyone's face. With 24 grams of whole grains and unexpected sweetness in every serving, it's sure to please even the pickiest eaters. Help start your mornings with Life cereal.
I really love my life.
Your dining room is the heart of your home, where meals are shared and memories are made. At Ashley, you'll find affordable dining furniture in a range of classic and modern styles. Ashley's small space sets and extendable tables are designed to fit beautifully into any space, from cozy breakfast nooks and kitchens to formal dining areas fit for a feast. And with mix-and-match seating options, everyone at your table gets the perfect seat. At Ashley, style is served. Shop in-store or online today.
Our next stop takes us to Rolling Hills Asylum in East Bethany, one of the most famously haunted locations in New York. Built in 1827 as the Genesee County Poorhouse, it housed not only the poor, but also the mentally ill, orphans, and criminals. With over 1,700 documented deaths on the property, it's no surprise that Rolling Hills has earned a reputation as a paranormal hotspot. One of the most chilling spirits haunting Rolling Hills is Roy Corse, a 7-foot-tall giant who lived in the asylum and is said to still roam the halls. Visitors have reported hearing heavy footsteps and seeing a shadowy figure that stands far taller than any living person. Some guests have even felt the sensation of being watched, especially near Roy's old room. Another commonly seen ghost is that of a young girl believed to be an orphan who died at the asylum. Her presence is often accompanied by the sound of soft giggles or the eerie feeling of a cold hand brushing against a visitor's arm. Paranormal investigators have captured EVPs and ghostly apparitions, particularly in the asylum's shadowy hallways, a place known for its dark energy. Rolling Hills Asylum is open for ghost tours and overnight investigations, making it a prime destination for thrill seekers hoping to encounter its restless spirits. Next, we visit the New York State Capitol in Albany, a grand building with a dark side. Completed in 1899, the Capitol has long been rumored to be haunted by both politicians and workers who never left the premises. The building's elaborate architecture conceals numerous ghost stories, particularly in the winding corridors and staircases. One of the most famous apparitions in the Capitol is that of Samuel Abbott, a night watchman who died in a tragic fire in 1911. Abbott has been spotted near the area where he died, with witnesses reporting the smell of smoke and the distinct sound of someone walking through the halls, even when the building is empty. Another well-known haunting is in the Capitol's assembly chamber, where visitors have reported cold drafts and the feeling of being watched. Some even claim to have seen the ghost of a former legislator wandering the chamber as though attending an eternal session. The building's million-dollar staircase is also a hotspot for paranormal activity, with people reporting mysterious footsteps and shadowy figures. Although still in use by state government, The capital offers tours where visitors can learn about its haunted past and perhaps experience its ghostly resident firsthand. The luxurious Sagamore Resort, located on Lake George in Bolton Landing, has been a retreat for the wealthy since it was built in 1883. But beneath its elegant exterior, the Sagamore is known for its paranormal activity, with numerous spirits said to roam its halls and grounds. One of the most well-known ghosts at the Sagamore is that of a young boy who died in a car accident on the resort's golf course in the early 1950s. Golfers and staff have reported seeing the boy's ghost running along the course, laughing and playing, only to disappear near the spot where the accident occurred. His presence is often accompanied by the sound of a bouncing ball or a child's voice calling out in the distance. The resort is also haunted by the spirit of a lady in white, believed to be a former guest who tragically died on the property. She's often seen in the hallways of the main building, gliding silently through the corridors. Some guests have even reported seeing her reflection in mirrors, only to turn around and find no one there. The Sagamore Resort remains open today, offering luxury accommodations along with the possibility of a ghostly encounter. Our next haunted location takes us to the heart of Broadway, where the Belasco Theater has been entertaining audiences since 1907. Named after its original owner, David Belasco, the theater is known not only for its performances, but for the ghost of Belasco himself, who is said to haunt the building. Belasco was a legendary producer and playwright, and after his death in 1931, many believe he never left the theater. His ghost is often seen dressed in a long cloak, watching rehearsals from his private box or wandering backstage. Actors have reported feeling an icy chill and the sensation of being watched while performing, and especially when the theater is empty. Another spirit said to haunt the Belasco Theater is that of a blue lady, a young actress who tragically died under mysterious circumstances. She's often seen in the upper levels of the theater, appearing as a glowing blue figure that disappears into the shadows. Some have also reported strange noises, such as the sound of doors slamming or disembodied voices whispering in the dark. The Belasco Theater remains an active performance space, but those who walk its stage know they might not be alone. Our final stop brings us to the Utica State Hospital, also known as the Utica Psychiatric Center, in upstate New York. Built in 1843, it was one of the first psychiatric hospitals in the United States, and its imposing Gothic architecture hides a tragic and disturbing past. Many patients endured cruel and experimental treatments during the hospital's early years, and some never left. The most commonly reported ghost at the Utica State Hospital is that of a female patient who is often seen wandering the grounds, dressed in a hospital gown and staring blankly ahead. Visitors have reported hearing disembodied screams and cries echoing through the hospital's abandoned corridors, as well as the sound of chains rattling in the basement, once used to restrain patients. One especially chilling story involves the hospital's morgue, where cold spots and shadowy figures have been seen moving between the row of old gurneys. Paranormal investigators have captured EVP recordings in the morgue, including voices calling out for help or simply whispering in the dark. Though the Utica State Hospital is no longer in operation, the building stands as a reminder of the tragic lives once lived there, with many believing the spirits of its former patients are still trapped within its walls. And there you have it, everybody. That concludes our haunted journey through the Empire State. New York has its share of haunted tales. I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode of Haunted America. If you can, please leave us a 5-star review on either Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from. We'd really appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, or want to suggest anything for a future show, go ahead, send me an email, thehalloweenpodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget, I am looking for guests, so if you want to be on the Halloween podcast, send me that email. We'll see if we can squeeze you in. If you want to support the show, head on over to our website, thehalloweenpodcast.com. Check out our merch store. We got some cool stickers, some really cool postcards. Feel free to go on there, order some stuff, help out the Halloween podcast. All of the proceeds go to help continue this show. And I can't forget about that Facebook page. Head on over to facebook.com/The Halloween Podcast. Like our page. I post a lot of cool stuff up there all the time. So if you want to interact with me, feel free, give us a like. Join us tomorrow as we continue Haunted America and venture into North Carolina. I will see you then. Have a good night.
Bombas makes the most comfortable socks, underwear, and T-shirts.
Warning, Bombas are so absurdly comfortable you may throw out all your other clothes.
Sorry, do we legally have to say that?
No, this is just how I talk, and I really love my Bombas.
They do feel that good. And they do good, too. One item purchased equals one item donated.
To feel good and do good, go to bombas.com/listen and use code LISTEN for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/listen and use code LISTEN at checkout.
Your dining room is the heart of your home, where meals are shared and memories are made. At Ashley, you'll find affordable dining furniture in a range of classic and modern styles. Ashley small space sets and extendable tables are designed to fit beautifully into any space, from cozy breakfast nooks and kitchens to formal dining areas fit for a feast. And with mix-and-match seating options, everyone at your table gets the perfect seat. At Ashley, style is served. Shop in-store or online today.